The NES, unlike many people close to my age, was not my first console. The Super Nintendo actually was. And I didn't play much NES until later on in my life. In fact, the first time I played an NES game was when I just started high school. Regardless, I love the NES, and here are 10 games that I will always go back to. DuckTales, woo! God, that song is still in my head. The DuckTales TV show was a great kids show featuring Scrooge and his nephews, and when I found out there was an NES game for it, I wanted to give it a try. I was not disappointed either. The action platformer has the story and characters it needs to tie it to the show, but also keep it its own separate thing. It was really enjoyable, though hard and unforgiving in parts, but that's just the old NES charm. Contra never struck me as a hugely influential game, and I don't go around touting it to high heaven either like many people seem to do. However, the platformer mixed with a shmup in some ways is a lot of fun and hard as balls. Thank God for that Konami code. The NES is where simple ideas come to roost and become icons. One such icon is Bubble Bobble. It's a simple challenge game where you shoot, well, bubbles at enemies and win the stage. You also acquire precious points. It's surprisingly a ton of fun, and even more so with a friend. Life Force, a space shooter extraordinaire. Life Force is an early example of the space shooter genre, and it holds on to its roots quite well. Plenty of power-ups, enemies, and bosses keep the game exciting and engaging, something some modern-day space shooters really need to take note of. Castlevania is the finest example of an adventure platformer. It's full of hidden secrets, mysteries, challenges, bosses, and a very pleasing set of levels designed with the very word Castlevania in mind. It also takes us back, much like Contra, to a time where Konami wasn't a huge piece of crap. Whenever you say NES, people almost always go, oh yeah, that system with Mario 3, right? And for good reason. Mario 3 is one of the best NES platforming games. It has a decent story, creative level and world design, and it cemented the iconic Nintendo character for the rest of time. Mario 3 is simply one of the best Mario games ever made. Monster Party is weird, don't get me wrong, but there is maddening fun in its pure strangeness. Monster Party is a platformer with some problem solving to continue to the next level. You fight almost what is mini boss fights to get question marks, which lets you move on. And while it is Monster Party, you do fight monsters like mummies and zombies, but you also fight shrimp and an onion ring. The first Legend of Zelda is a true adventure game. It's clunky, yes, but hugely entertaining with a captivating storyline, great RPG elements, and secrets you just have to find. Zelda 1, like Mario 3, really established an iconic Nintendo franchise. Mega Man 2, in my own humble opinion, is the best of the series on NES. It took everything from the first and improved on it, adding in some new things as well as to really polish it off. It's sad to not really see any new age Mega Man games, and I hope Capcom either gets off its Street Fighter DLC ass or sells the rights to Nintendo, or, you know, Mighty No. 9 finally gets released. Simplicity wins the day for me on the NES. The original Bomberman and Bomberman 2 is like Bobble Bobble, simple but a ton of fun. It's a game where you simply use bombs and your brain to kill enemies in a maze-like box sort of thing with explodable bricks. Some of these bricks have power-ups in them, though most don't. It takes such a simple idea and makes it into something absolutely amazing. And after playing games like Second Attack on the N64, I was really interested in playing the original when I finally got a hold of one. Well, that's it, my top 10 NES games. Have you played the NES yourself? If so, what are your own favorites? Let me know by leaving a comment, and seriously, try Monster Party. It's really weird. Also, as always, to try and keep some comments at bay, this is my own list. This is not some list that I generated from, you know, people saying, oh, this is my favorite game or anything like that. These are all games that I have played in order of how I enjoyed them, so that's why Mario 3 is not at the top and Bomberman is. So, you know, don't get angry at me. Thanks. Enjoy that video? Check out my last top 10 video on the top 10 weirdest games of all time. If you really enjoyed, leave a like and maybe a subscribe. Thanks for watching.